Shalom, this is your one done with the Men of Valor Camp. Want to give all praises to the Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And double honors to the Elder Slakia. What I was just looking at was the Real ID Act. So pretty much it's just talking about something that we read about in like 2007, 2008. And pretty much it's starting to come to fruition, so to speak. So, one moment, I'm just getting the article up. One moment, my computer acting stupid. All right, so pretty much what's going on is at airports in 9 different states. Those 9 states being Kentucky, Maine, Missouri, Montana, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, and Washington. And this is just slowly going into fruition. So it's not something that's effective on a mass scale, so to speak. But it is something that's going on, and obviously we'll start to manifest. So what's going on is the airports. You know how normally you can go into an airport and you can take a flight, but you don't have to have a passport or anything like that. You can, if it's domestic, you can normally use your license or things of that nature. And this current situation, that's no longer a go. So that's not going to happen anymore in those specific states. Now, the Real ID Act, Slovakia, that started in 2005, or was at least discussed there. So at this point, it says that you have to have a passport. Pardon me. It says you may have thought you don't need a passport because you don't travel outside of the United States, but for residents of some states, this may change pending the above info for any commercial flight, whether it's international or domestic. To get past TSA security checkpoints, another form of identification may be required: passport, permanent resident card, green card, or military ID. So, and I named the states that would be required in. But it's pretty much, federally approved. So not state mandated or anything like that, but you need to have federally approved ID, in order to go to and fro. And that reminds me, and I'm trying to find the exact scripture. I know it's in the Apocrypha. It's like you just trying to get this to pull up. Again, my computer is acting stupid. All right, so Second Esdras, yep. Second Esdras chapter 15 and 17. So it reminds me of that scripture right there. Roughly paraphrasing once it pops up all the way. But it's talking about a man shall desire to go into a city. So a man shall desire to go into a city, and he won't be able to. And the reason why he won't be able to is because he's going to need, whether it be the chip, because that's eventually what's going to come. So he's going to either need the chip, he's going to need the real ID, which is the passport, but everything is going to get more digital because the passport has microchips in it. The passport is digital. The passport keeps track of you, obviously. So that's where that's going. So slowly but surely, that's bringing on or leading up to steps with the chip. Let me see if I can find any more information. Okay, so it's saying by 2020, even more people may end up needing a passport, as confirmed by the official website of the Transportation of Security Admission. It says to repeat, if you're going to take a flight and you have a state-issued ID from one of these states listed above, unless your state has made federally approved changes before January, it would be safest to use a passport to go anywhere across the country, as all domestic travel is included in these new standards. So these new standards is going to make it difficult for some people to travel. Let's just say somebody's an alien, so to speak, as they would call it. And if you're an alien, then, or someone that's not a native of the country, I should say, as they would call it, then you're not going to be able to make that move. So, and that kind of goes into what Trump's doing with this wall. That kind of goes into what Trump's doing with trying to get Native Americans or Spanish people out of the country That eventually is going to get to that point where, like I said, it's going to be a man. A man is going to be who's going to desire to go into a city and should not be able to. He's not going to be able to, and that's before the chip. That's before any martial law, so to speak. Or that's before any wars or any craziness. Just that alone is going to stop you. I mean, now obviously, I mean you still have the option of driving, but who really wants to drive from New York to California, so to speak? Not that that's not that that's what's going to happen, but some people may. But in this scenario, again, for people that's trying to take flights, because flights is the norm, it's going to be harder. And I would imagine, it's going to get harder in other aspects as well because it's going to crack down in other ways. Potentially, maybe the license is next. Who knows? But that was just kind of my point there. And Salakia for kind of not in the beginning having it down pat. I was just trying to make sure that all my information was straight. But otherwise, till next time, Lord willing, shalom.